Okay, hi everybody from Marco Fantone, welcome into my phantom, okay, to my studio for this live tutorial in English, but I know there are also some Italian friends. If you wanted to put your questions in Italian, this is not a problem. I will answer in English or in Italian as you want. But mainly, I would like to make this session in English for all friends from Europe and also, of course, from worldwide. Thank you very much. I switch the camera here. It's much better. Okay, let's start. Let me check. How is the audio? It's okay? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Let me check. Let me use the glasses, otherwise I have difficulty. Good evening, Marco. Ready to learn something interesting? Yes, thank you, Norvenni. Okay. So there are some questions, but I would like to thank you. Thank you to everybody, of course. But I would like that we focus this session for the introduction about FM3, Fractal FM3. I know many of you received from Susie the email about finally the FM3, and now you are the happy owners of this amazing unit. So my target for this session is to give you some hints, some information, some suggestions about the preliminary information, where to find documentation, manuals, support, contacts, and so on. So later on we can discuss about special questions regarding, I don't know, IR. I see a question from Andrea. Ciao Marco, sarebbe bello sapere quali sono le IR di fabbrica. The questions regarding the impulse response, the factory impulse response. There are 2048 impulse responses. Okay, so I would like that we are now we focus the session to introduce you to the startup of the FM3 use. Ok, so let's start. Veramente bravo, suono basso, mi piacerebbe duettare con te, grande. Ok, Claudio Cantoni. Ok, I hope the audio is ok. So, for the Italian friends, no problem. Scrivete pure in italiano, che non ci sono problemi. Ok, I switch English-Italian. Sorry for my English is not so good, but I hope that you understand me. Maybe the non-native speaker in English will understand me better than native, maybe. Okay, so please be patient for my lot of mistakes. So, welcome to everybody. Let's start. First of all, I would like to thank G66, and I would like to introduce you. Sorry. To the G66 website, that is the main important. Okay, let's switch to this view. G66 is the exclusive distributor for European market of Fractal. G66 has a very, very good and important website where you can find all you need. Support, contacts, documentation, firmware, softwares, editors, information regarding the product, video, free preset. So I don't know if there is something else. And I would like to thank G66 and of course Fractal Audio. Okay. And of course, all staff of G66. I will also introduce you about the staff. Let me check. Your photo is totally new to me. I have no other FA product. Fractal. Okay. Signal 102 is a really newbie for this product. So this session is for the newbie, but I think that also the expertise will appreciate some information regarding this session. Thank you very much. So let's start from the G66 and learn to find how to find the information on the G66 website, because there are some very important information that you have to know. Okay, so this is the home page of G66. You can select the languages. You can find any European languages, so there is not any problem if you switch in Italian, for example. You have not only the translation of the website in Italy, but also the documentation is available in that language. Not for all, of course, but for example, French has the documentation, English, of course, has documentation, Italians has many of the documentation is already translated. So please check your language and check the documentation, because most of the time the documentation is available even in your native language. So let's proceed. So for everybody, I switch in English. Okay. You can navigate in the website. Okay, this is the main page. You can find some video on the page. You can find also the main important event and links like this one. So you can see here the welcome FM3 live stream for the section. You can see the weekly free preset that I do and I offer you as a free download. For example, you can immediately download the preset related to the video. So frequently on my YouTube channel and also on the G66 web channel is available the video and also the possibility to hear the sounds, and of course you can download and install not only this one, but you can go to the more MF is my initials, Marco Fanton custom preset, and you can find all preset of the weeks that I offer you. Okay? These presets are based on the factory preset, and I make some modification. I made some personal modification. So I invite you to check it, to download it, to install it, and check if it's good for you. Okay. So you have some information. For example, you have a possibility to download the very famous guitarist like Steve Stevens or Pete Torn, and also it's possible to download the preset. Video tutorials, and as you can see, you can find a lot of information, artists, and so on. If you scroll down, and of course, in the bottom of the page, you can access directly to the section of the website. It is very important that if you go to the product, okay, Fractal Audio product, if you go to the FM3 product, you go to the FM3 section, you have the information regarding FM3, but it is very important, this row where you can go to the videos related to FM3, okay, but most of the important it is the download where you can find the firmware version. Firmware is a really important part of Fractal products. Many of you already know that I worked with a lot of products, and I can say that Fractal is one of the most important products that take care a lot about the evolution of his system. This is a very big benefit, and I think is the very unique selling point of Fractal, because Fractal is continuously in evolution to improve the quality of the simulation, to improve the availability of simulation, so new amps, new effects block, new features available for you. This is absolutely free. So you don't buy only a piece of electronic and some metal sheet, but you buy also a very high-end technology, and this technology is improved by the time to give you a very performance product day by day. This is really important. So you can check what is the last firmware version and check what is the features offered to you, and remember, you totally free. There is also the factory presets. If you modify the factory preset, for example, you can reinstall your presets. Okay, you can download very important things. The manual is absolutely important to read the manual. There is FM3 owner's manual, general manual, but also there is the Fractal audio block guide. This is really important to understand how to program the FM3 and to get the best result in terms of effects and of sounds. So in the Fractal audio blocks, you can download any information regarding the information about the delay, the compressor, the drives, the amp, the cabinets, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. There is also a guide for the foot switch guides. It is a very interesting manual that explains you how to use the foot switch. The foot switch configuration I will show you later on. The foot switches are very very powerful, and it's possible with only 3 switches, because many people told me, oh, but only 3 switches. Okay, it's not only 3 switches, let's say magic switches, because you can program and you can configure the switches to have a very wide range of configuration, wide range of possibilities. Of course, you can expand your FM3 with the FC6 or FC12, and very easily, I will show you, with a cable, an XLR cable, and you can expand the amounts of foot switch and also the possibility with FM3. Okay. This is really important. Fractal Bot. Fractal Bot I will show you immediately, because it is a tool. I show you immediately. Fractal Bot. Let me. Okay. Okay. This is a simple tool, but really powerful. Okay. You can download the Fractal Bot for your operative system from Mac, OS, or Windows. There is also the drives for Windows devices, but also and the manuals. I show you the Fractal Bot. Fractal Bot is a very powerful tool that lets you to make one of the most important things you have to do periodically. You have to back up your system, because you have to remember, Fractal is a very robust, is very affordable system, but you have to protect your work to do a backup, especially before to make any firmware action. From the point of view, okay, don't be afraid to destroy anything, because with the software you have no risks to destroy anything. You can, okay, freeze the units, but there is also, in any case, there is a possibility to recover the unit you can do anything about the software, because we see a lot of situations where people make some disaster. Okay, but typically it's really difficult to create disaster. But in any case, don't be afraid in case of unit freeze or this doesn't occur in if for example, if you download the firmware and the power down, okay, and the firmware is loaded at half, okay, when the unit switch on, we don't know what's happened. So, but don't be afraid, because there is, in any case, the possibility to recover the machine. So, because many people ask me, can I create some hardware problem if I download some software? No, there is no any possibility to create a problem on the software. Okay, so and in what is really important is to make the backup. So first of all, when you go to the Fractal Bot, you have to select the device. You have all Fractal devices. You can select FM3. When I am connected via USB, okay, let me check also the. Okay, you connect the unit via USB, and typically these are the information you have. Okay, Fractal system. Now I'm working with a beta version of the firmware, but typically here in this, so now is the Fractal Bot read the firmware, and this information is very important. Now I'm working with the last 1.06 beta version, but it is a really stable version, and very soon will be available the new the released 1.06 version. Actually, the official version is this one, okay, that you see in the downloads. Firmware is 1.05, okay, but very soon will be available the new version. I recommend you to install it to get the last features and also some new effects or new improvement of the system. So when you connect the Fractal Bot, automatically the system tell you the actual version and automatically tell you if there is new version available, and you can immediately install directly from here. Okay, or you can download the firmware, choose the file to send here. Okay, so if I click here, open the file manager, and you can select the firmware. So send the file and follow the instruction. It's very easy. There is the bar that show you the progress of the download, and the system asks you to make a power off. So it's quite simple. What is important is to make the backup before to install the new firmware. So to make the backup, you go to the receive mode. Okay, you have to select the unit. Okay, you have to select where to download your backup. Okay, if you wanted to browse or show what is in the directory, and when you press the begin, as you can see, the Windows asks you what you want to backup. You can select all or deselect all as you want. So preset bank A from 0 to 127, bank B, bank C, bank D, user cabinet. So because the factory cabinet is saved in the unit, okay, but you have your user cabinet. Cabinet means impulse responses. And also the system and global blocks and PUFC. So if you click on every flag, you are sure to make all the backup. Or you can select individually per preset. You can backup the current preset from edit buffer, backup with the user cabinet, you can select. But usually you can deselect all or select all, backup your units completely. Do this periodically, especially before to install the new firmware, because it's quite easy that you install the firmware and, for example, the power go down. So what's happened now? Okay, you have the possibility to recover the FM3, but unfortunately there is a concrete risk to lose your preset. So before to do this, save your preset. So you can also install the preset. For example, you can select with the browser a preset. For example, here I can select the patch. Let me check a patch. Okay, FM3. Okay, Route 66. Okay, open, and I can install Okay, I can install the preset on the machine. But to do this, I usually suggest you to make the installation of the preset with the editor. So we will see later on. Okay, the most important thing to use Fractal Bot is the installation of the firmware and the backup. Okay, it's okay for you? Okay, let's go on, and remember to read the manual. The other important software you have to download is the FM3 edit, the editor, and here you can select the operative system, Windows or Mac OS. Even the editor is updated. So usually new firmware means typically new editor. Not in the same time sometimes, but okay, you have to check if there is. But typically the editor auto recognize if there are new version, new update, and ask you if you want to install the new update. I recommend you, of course, to install the last version, of course, to get the new features of the new firmware. Very well. Okay. So you can also here find the MF my free preset, and also you can find here the tutorials. Okay, video tutorials in any languages. Italian, there are also some my tutorials. Here, for example, there is a tutorial to create the David Gilmour sound. I invite you to check it. It's in Italian, unfortunately, but it is the Italian and English version. So we will come back to this page later on, because I want to show you okay, the other products. Of course, it's the same. The shop, where you can buy either other components from G66, like the pedals, like the FC foot controller. Okay, there is also the B stock material if you wanted to make used device, metrics also, speaker cabinet, mission pedal, accessories. So check what is available in the shop. So there is also experience. That's it could. No, I switch in English. Sorry. Experience community. It's very important to go to the Fractal Audio System Forum. This is a very, very important link where you can find a very big and official community of Fractal. Also, the owner of Fractal, Cliff Chase, is in the forum and answer directly to the users. You can find the beta version, for example. You can find the improvement, the bug list, the wish list, every kind of information. I will show you later on. There is also the exchange, where you can exchange the preset with a big community, and there is also a very important website is a wiki Fractal, where you can find anything about Fractal. Anything means anything. It's a very, very nice Wikipedia website of Fractal, where you can find any information you want. I invite you to spend a time to check it. For example, many of you wanted to know what is the meaning of the impulse responsive. If you go to the cap block, for example, here, you can find the information about the cabinets block. Okay, there are a lot of information, of course, in English, but it's a long list, but very useful to use. Okay, for any Fractal product, FM3 here, for example. If you go to the cap block oppure, or let me check. Parameters. Okay, you can find any kind of information in the wiki Fractal. So take the time to check it, and also don't forget to check the Yek Guides for the Fractal Audio Mesa Amp model, where you can find is a PDF file where you can find very good information. I show you briefly what is this. Let me check the okay. This is the file. It is a very nice guide where you can find the history. But this, I suggested to read this file from everybody, even use the traditional equipment with amplifier, because it's a very nice explanation about, for example, this is related to the, let me check the drive models. If you wanted to know what is the phase fuzz block, for example, okay, there is the history of phase fuzz based on a Dallas arbiter fuzz phase. Okay, so there are some descriptions, some tip, and some history about this product, and also information that you can find in the web. It is a really Wikipedia information, very, very, very useful to understand. Also, there are some links to YouTube to hear the effect, the original effect. So don't forget to have a look on the guides. Okay, let's come back to the G66. So there is also the Facebook official page of G66, the official YouTube channel, the SoundCloud, and also the Twitter the channel. This is important. What I recommend you is to go to the Fractal Audio. As you can see, is this official forum from Fractal, where you can find the discussion. For example, if you ask me, where did you find the beta version of FM3? Here. So if you go to the FM3 discussion, you can see there is available the firmware 1.06 public beta. Is a beta version that is available also for the public. Of course, beta version, what means? Beta version is a version, let's say, 99% stable, but there could be some issues. So please don't use the beta version for your live, okay? Because we don't know what is the behavior of the units in some cases, because not all the behavior are already just tested. And but you can install to check the new features introduced with this beta version. If you click on it, you have the first page, the download, the link to download directly. There is also the new factory preset, because sometimes the new firmware version needs new factory preset. So don't forget to check if there is also available the factory preset, because sometimes there are some very significant improvement in some blocks, especially the cabinets, or especially the amps. So to get the new improvement in the factory preset, is necessary to install the new factory preset. And so here you can find the information, and also the release notes, where you can find what is the improvement, the fixer, pitch blotch, mix overriding, custom sets, and so on. That all the features available. For the Italian friends, I recommend you to subscribe to the Fractal Audio System Italia. Okay, it's a very good Italian community. I can switch in Italian. So c'è il Fractal Audio System Italia Facebook page, dove ci siamo io, c'è anche poi Diego Pezzati che è il referente italiano. È una bella community dove possiamo scambiare informazioni, ci sono anche attività di supporto, è veramente molto interessante. Ok, non dimenticato. So let's switch again in English. Sorry. Okay, so I recommend you to visit the Fractal Forum. Well, let's close. And of course, okay, we can continue. And also another important website to visit is my web page, marcofanton.it, where you can find anything from me, especially my relations, my videos, and so on. So, okay, only few seconds to make some marketing activity on my web page. So very important link on the G66 website is the support link, where you can again find all software and firmware related to the devices. For example, is a summary of the summarization of the other pages. For example, FM3 download, you can find firmware, preset, manual, drives, edit, Fractal Bot, access tutorial, or FM3 download. It is the same. FC manual. All the thing is grouped in this page. Very, very useful. Luca says, grande, very good website. See, absolutely very, very nice website, very useful, and is made in a very, very good way. Very important thing is the contact. Okay, this is the guys from G66. Jacques Isler is the owner. Susie. This is Susie. So when you are very happy when you receive the email from Susie, and this is Susie. Okay, Raul Cabezali from Spain, Olebon Mansen from Denmark, Diego Pezzati from Italy. Is any kind of information you need, technical support and so on, you can find all the name from any country. Okay, and you have the mail and also sometimes the phone number. So don't forget to contact this guy in case of needs, of course. And I'm also available for you if you wanted to contact me, and you can go to my website and you have the email to me. Okay, don't forget to read some service, some very important information regarding the service of G66. About G66, a very long history in the musical instruments, and about Fractal also. You have very nice history about the first, for example, the first time that Fractal was presented is 2005. The first internet forum post about AXFX appears stating that this is a history, but it's very, very important to know the history of Fractal. So Fractal is not only a unit, it's a piece of history, it's a piece of technology, the high-end technology. So there is a lot behind this piece of black box, let's say. Also there are the artist video, MF preset again. So this is from the website is all. If you have any question, I'm available. Let me check your questions. Berto Zubaio, ciao, un saluto dalla Bulgaria. Dino De Rosa, Luca Urbano, ciao Marco, buonasera a tutti. I'm waiting impatiently from FM3. I have promised in mid-September. How do you think the FC6 will be very useful to complete? Okay, I will show you how it's possible to. This is a very good question and very common question. Many people ask me if only 3-foot switch are available, are useful or not. Depends of your needs, because 3-foot switch you can do many things, but it depends. If you're on live, you need to have 5, 6, 8 scenes. You have to switch on in online some blocks and so on. Maybe 3-foot switch could be not enough. So, but the possibility to expand the unit with the FC6 is very useful, very easy, okay, because you connect only with the cable. I will show you how easy it is to connect the FC6 and program the FC6. So, depends on you. What I like very much of FM3 is the possibility that, okay, I show you here. you have very small unit. When you go to the rehearsal, for example, you need only the unit. For example, you need like this. I have the lead channel. I have the crunch, the rhythm channel, and the clean, for example. Not only, but I will show you that you can do much more with this foot switch. But if you need more, let me check if you can install also the FC6, as you can see, and expand the functionality of your system. Depends of you. If you need some suggestion regarding this, ask me. Don't hesitate to ask me. Send me an email or contact me on Facebook, my official page, and we can discuss. If you, I suggest you to prepare some overview of your needs. What is your genre, music genre, or what is your effects you need during your live and so on. Typically, with FC6, I satisfy all my live gig. But I also play with only 3 foot switch, and there is no problem. But depends on you. If you have, I repeat again, and depends what is your live gig, let's say, method, let's say. But I will explain you better later on. There is also Diego Pezzati here. Okay. So we can close the website and let's go to the FM3 editor. The editor is the most important tool to get the best performance of your system. But of course, sorry, I have to switch here. Okay, but in any case, you can do anything from the unit. I show you. If you read the manual, you have a possibility to navigate on the system. What is important is to know what is the setup, where you can set up the foot controller. You have the global settings. It's very easy to navigate because you have the cross button. Okay. Global settings, for example. Enter. You have some tips, some parameters to set up. Now I don't want to go in deep what is the meaning of the every parameter, because I need 1 week to explain one by one, of course. But I only wanted to show you how to navigate. So exit, to exit, scroll down to go to the IO, for example, where you can set up the configuration of the input output of the machine. Okay. Remember that, okay, when you enter in a menu, okay, you have the navigation, you have 5 knobs here. You can rotate the knobs, and also you can push the knobs. For example, to enter in the setup menu, you press the E. Okay, you have a list. You can scroll down the list with the button. Okay, you enter in the global. Is very intuitive to me. And also you have different page. You can move through the page by these 2 buttons. So this is the output 1 EQ, the output 2 EQ, the scales for the harmonizer. Exit to return back to the previous menu. You have the possibility to set up the MIDI. The MIDI has a very big and huge possibilities, so you can also handle the FM3 with the external standard MIDI pedal board. Okay. And also there are the utility. On the utility, I wanted to point out, okay, you can set up the brightness of the display. you can check the status of the pedal connected to the unit. You can reset all parameters, clear. You can make here some disaster, so take care about this menu, so where you reset everything. Sometimes could be necessary to reset something if you have some problems. Sometimes when you install impulse response, could occur that some impulse response files are not are corrupted, and they can create some problems on the unit. So if you have doubt about this, it's better to erase the whole user cabinet. This is the reason that you can find this information here. And also, you can check from here the version of the firmware. So, exit again. This is the home page where you can find the name of the preset and the list of the scenes. I will show you what are the scenes, but to navigate to the scenes, you can also do this. Okay. You can activate the tuner. Okay, very useful tuner. You can activate the layout. Layout is very nice, where you can see the exactly the same what you see in the software here. Okay. So this is the reason that I tell you that you can do anything from the with the software and also with the units. Very intuitive. Okay, you have the cursor here, and you can navigate, for example, on the amp. If you want to edit the amp, you press the edit. You can have the list of the amp. You have some pages here, so you go ahead with the page. So you have some parameters. You have two rows of parameters. One is up rows, input drive, brightness, bass, middle, and treble. Okay, if you go, you have also some other parameters. You go to with the down arrow to the second row. Very easy, very intuitive. And of course, in any knob, you rotate. Okay, you go to the other pages, preamp, power amp, and so on. So there are a lot of pages, but don't be afraid. You don't need to go to every pages. Absolutely. Okay, I want to show you only how to navigate into the system. What I like to show you is the possibility to zoom the layout. If you press the A, and you can see the entire preset here. It's very useful to understand what is the preset. Okay, and you can also here you can also see the input VMeter and output VMeters. Very useful also this, and there is also a very good menu. This is very useful menu where you can see here all blocks, and you can check what is the input value and the output value of any block. Okay, remember this, but because some expert people know that sometimes it's necessary to understand and to balance the volume of the preset and the scenes and so on. This menu is really useful. Okay. So let's come back. Let's come back to the editor, because I prefer, and most of the time you use the FM3 editor to create your sounds. First of all, I wanted to suggest you to navigate and to check the factory preset, because the factory presets are very, very, very nice and very, very usable, and you understand what is the philosophy behind the creation of the rig or the presets. So let's start from, for example, the preset number 0. it is the bus guy. Bus guy is the name of this amp with this cabinet. The rig is quite easy. Is this the virtualization? I like to say that this is the virtualizations of the real world, okay, into the software. Because from left to right, this is the path of the signal. In left, this is the input block, okay. If you select the input, you have here the parameters of the block. What, for example, there is the noise gate, okay. And there are some block effects: compressor, wah, drive, the amp block, the cabinet block, the chorus effect, the flange, delay, rotary, reverb, and output. This is the rig, okay. Typical. The name of this composition is the rig. It is absolutely the same rig that you have in the real world. So if you know how to connect your effect blocks, you know how to create your rig. Not only you can create your rig horizontally in a single line, but you can also create a parallel line using the metrics. The metrics that is very important part. So, for example, I wanted to put a second delay in parallel to this delay. I go here in the free block, press the right mouse button, and I can select this. This is the list of the effects. For example, I can select the second delay. I can connect this delay in parallel with this one, clicking here. This is the input. When I click on the input, the software show me all the possibilities to connect this input. So I wanted to connect here. I only click here and create the link. The same here, the output here. And I realized the parallel effect. Or I can create a different chain. For example, I want to make a block like the enhancer, okay. And I also create a very complex links and so on. See, this is really nice because you can create sometimes your fantasy is the limits of the rig creation. So you can do anything. There are some, of course, some limits you have to take care because the CPU power is limited. Of course, you cannot do nothing. You have to take care of this number. When this number go to the red, you have to take care about how many effects to handle. But most of the situation you can I will show you some real preset that I use on the live situation where I'm absolutely under the 80%, 7% of the CPU. Sometimes you can see the warning message like now, okay. Don't take care if usually there is if the FM3 continues to work, there is no problem. But you have to take care that you cannot add some other effects, like for example this effect, for example, needs a very high power, and a message like this is shown by the editor. Okay. Well, if you want to save this connection, you press the save. If you want to discard this preset, you can change and come back again, and you can find the preset. Typically, I suggest you to let the factory preset as they are, and if you wanted to modify, go to the preset menu, save to the new preset number, okay, and you have a very long list of available preset, and from the location, if I remember well, 384, you have empty slot where you can do you can save your presets. For example, I save this preset on 384. Okay, the system confirmed to say, and that's it. So I am in the preset 384, and I can do what I want. So if I want to recover the initial preset, I simply go to the first one. If I forget to do this, as I told you, there is always the possibility to recover the factory presets. Okay. Let me drink some water because I am speaking since almost 1 hour. So we can check, we can make some rumors, some noises. Sorry, rumors is in Italy. Some noise. Okay, I switch off the microphone. Okay, nice sound. This preset. Usually, when you receive the Fractal unit, you spend at least an half hour to on this preset because it's a massive. But pay attention. It's not only a preset. Every preset is also 8 scenes. What is scenes? Scenes is a status of the block. So you see there are many effects, but not all effects are on. When effects are on, okay, like this, for example, for the drive, the effects is colorized. Drive becomes red, okay, or chorus become blue, flanger become violet, and so on. But as you can see, here we have only the amp, the cabinet, and reverb, nothing else. Press the scenes number 2, and you can see a different name and different. The situation is the same, but the sound is different. What's happened? Check on the amp block. This is the amp block. Check this part. It is the channel part. Scene 1, the channel is A, channel 2, scenes 2, channel is 2. What this is? Every block, every effect has 4 channels. What is 4 channels? Has 4 different status of that block. That means that on the amp block is not only one. You have 4 different amp that you can select by the scenes. So scenes 1, for example, is the bass guy. The scenes 2 is again the bass guy, but you can see that all the parameters changed. The input drive is more, the bass is less, and check the knobs of the amp. Okay. But I have 4 channels and I have 4 status of the same amp with different parameter. But I can also change the amplifier. So if I click on the type, there is a list of all amp available. We have 277 available amps, and you can select a different amp. So you have, it's like the channel of your amp, where you can select not only the clean, crunch, and lead, but you can also select, for example, Fender Twin or Marshall JCM 800 or Mesa Boogie rectifier and so on. And this is the most powerful features of Fractal systems. In this case, the synths are used to change the channel of the amp. So typically, this amp, the Bassman 59 Bass Guy amp has only one channel, but you have the possibility to have 4 different status of the channel, 4 different sounds of the same amp. This is very, very powerful, and you cannot do this in the real world because you need to have more amps. With this system, you can do more. So, for example, you can decide to have the drive switched on. Scene 3 has the drive on. Okay. Scene 4 has also the delay, and also channel D, for example, is named solo. Since scene 5 is no, is only it's the same like the one. Yes, I think. And the other scenes are the same. Only the first 4 are saved. So I let you show what is the different sounds from these scenes. So I change only the scenes, but the preset is the same. So okay, let's start. I'll switch off the microphone. Okay. Okay. Do you understand the difference with the scenes? So there is a huge difference. So you, with the same preset, you can change the status. Like you have your pedal board, you have like a MIDI looper in your pedal board, and you can select different scenes, different status of your pedal. For example, if we want to have a new scenes that we click, we call clean plus, for example. Okay, where I wanted to have the chorus, so I click on the chorus and I press the space bar to bypass or to engage or disengage. I want to have the delay, for example. I wanted to switch on the compressor. Okay, I press save to save the status of this scene. Let's check. Okay, I create a new scene where I switch on the chorus delay compressor. I hope that you understand what the meaning of the scenes. I see the question from Aqua Cum MC. Unfortunately, channel 234 of preset 0 as original push CPU above LNT. Okay, this Aqua Cum, this is the reason that I told you to upgrade not only the firmware, but the firmware and the factory preset. Let's come back to the website. Let's come back to the website. And let's go to product, FM3, downloads. As I told you before, you have the firmware, but also the factory preset. And the factory preset is made for that, because especially in this time that the FM3 is just introduced in the market, so you are still in the version, the firmware version 1. For example, if you go to the IXF3, we are in the firmware 13.03. When I start with the XFX3, I have the version number 1, and you have to imagine how many features, how many modifications, how many new improvement was made with 13 different firmware versions. So with FM3 we are in the firmware number 1. So it could be possible that in the first firmware there are some software part to optimize. So it is necessary to upload and upgrade the firmware, but not only, but also the factory preset. This is the reason that you find even the firmware and factory presets. Now, when the new firmware version, the 1.06 version, will be out very soon, you will have also the new factory preset. Maybe you have the new factory preset. New factory presets are made to use the new features and to optimize the CPU performance. As you can see, I show you, for example, here, one of my presets that are really complex. For example, this one. Okay. Let's have a look of this preset. It's really complex. There are 4 effects in parallel, and let's check what is the CPU load. Only 75, 77, 75. This is, and I have 8 scenes where I have the clean sound, I have the distortion, I have the lead, I have the delay on off, and I show you what I have with this preset. I switch off the microphone. This is this one is this is the preset that I use on the live gig, and you can see I have 8 different sounds with phaser, on chorus, pitch shift, lot of things inside these rigs, and you can see the CPU limits is. The problem is, the real problem is that because you are free to do everything, you have to know what you do. Otherwise, you can reach the limit of the CPU very easily. But you have to understand very well how to create a very optimized rig. So this is the reason that I suggest you to follow my tutorial and to inform about the possibility and to make a lot of tests, a lot of trying to understand what is the best use of the FM3. Let me check the questions. Dico, pezzati a parte, questo non trovo nulla di eccepire, macchina fantastica. Questo funzionamento, vogliamo lo Steel Singer amp. Everything sounds beautiful. What's at the end of M3 FR Studio speakers power amp? Okay, I show you in this moment I am using only my monitor. I'm connected to the audio interface. I show you immediately. Okay. Don't create some problem. No. Okay. You should see the connection here. I hope. Let me check if I have some enough cable to put in the vertical mode. Okay. Okay, so here I have the input of the guitar. This is the XLR output, and this output goes directly to the audio interface. I have no amp here. It's absolutely FR sounds. I have the there is also the input loop and to make the input and the secondary input, the secondary output. You can use this input and output in stereo mode to add, for example, stereo effects, or you can use the output to use a secondary speaker, and also the input to connect another, for example, acoustic guitar or keyboards and what you want. So the use of the input and the output are very flexible. There is the pedal 1 and pedal 2 where I connect my pedal. This is the connection, the unique connection for the FC6. There is also the data connection and also the power supply. You have also the USB. This port now is USB port is not used, but we'll see in the future what Fractal decided to assign to this USB port. You have the USB connection with your software, MIDI input, MIDI output, SPDIF out the digital output that you can use also to connect to the digital audio interface, and also the power on and off. Here you have the output volume 1 separated to the output volume 2. If you want to, there is a possibility to copy the output 1 to output 2 and to control the volume of the output 2 with different knobs. Okay? I hope to don't make a disaster. Sorry. I wanted to zoom out to show you what is. This is the FC6. Sorry, that's some cables, but you have to understand that the situation is not easy to handle. Okay, and this is the FC6. Okay. And it's simply connected with this cable. This cable has the datas and also the the power supply. You connect, you can see the FC switch on, and also you can program the FC as you want. So let me check if there are some questions. Tony Kennedy, I've been a Fractal guy for the past 4 years, firstly, and I Monixotto, then my wonderful XFX3, and waiting for G60 to post me the FM3. Best gear I ever used. Thank you very much, Tony. So let's continue our description, and I want to go to show the free preset of this week, where I want to show you some interesting things that I give to this preset. Okay, to install the preset is very easy. You download the file, go to the preset, import preset. You point out where is the preset, and that's it. You find where is it, and you can download. Very simple. Okay. My rig is, when I create my rig, I start from the amp and the cabinets. Okay. I put the chorus after the amp, chorus delay. I use the delay in parallel. I will explain why I use the delay in parallel to have this is let's say a legacy from my knowledge to the very old rack from the 80, 90 years. So typically I use the ambient effects in parallel. When I put the ambient effects in parallel, I put the mix at 100%. I tweak the delay with the level knob. Okay, but I don't want to go in deep to the reason. I want only to explain how is make this preset. There are 8 scenes. The scene number 1 is the lead channel, and you can see I selected the drive on. The amp is the Plexi 50 watt IG2 channel. To select, you can click on this area, and appears the list of the 270 amp. So I select the Plexi, and I also select the cabinet, in this case the factory cabinet 4x12 AXGB 313C. And you will ask me why I select this one, and I answer because I check all I check all the 2000 impulse responses. This is true, guys. There is another reason. The impulse response you have is like to check a very good restaurant. You have to try. There is another. Of course, you can use your intelligent. If I wanted to create a sound with the Plexi 50 watt, okay, I can go to search, for example, all cabinets 4x12, and for example, it's very useful to the search bar to type 4x12, and now appears only the cabinet 4x12. And it's very important to learn how is the meaning of the cabinets, because for example, here you can see some example. 4x12 Citrus 71 VR182 VH. The standard from this file is 4x12 is okay. Citrus, it is the nickname of the cabinet. Citrus mean orange, because sometimes there is a problem of copyright and you cannot use directly Marshall, Fender, and so on. So you have to use the similar name. Citrus is orange. Okay. 71 is the year of production. Typically, the VIR1 is the microphone. VIR1 is a electronic microphone example. A2 is the positions of the microphone. So you can see E2 or B, C, D, E. For example, this is 4x12, 9060A. It is a typical Marshall 9060A cabinets, 300 watt, 57, it is the name of the microphone, the SM57. D is the position. And you can see there are 4 impulse response of the same cabinet with the same microphone, but in a different position. And you can hear what is the difference of the this cabinet. I can show you. Sorry, Tony, you are right. I forgot to show the editor. Sorry, you are absolutely right. I come back again to show you the editor. Sorry. Yeah, because I have to check. I don't see my online monitor because it's covered by by another Windows. Sorry. So let's come back. This is the rig. And I show you the amp here. Okay, I select the plexi and I combine the cabinet with the 4x12 the 4x12 cabinet. The picker, let's permit you to select the cabinet. If you want to search the 4x12, you type here in the search bar 4x12. Okay. And you try one by one. To try is quite easy. To pin this window, okay? So you can select any file, because if you unpin, you select one file and the window is closed. If you click on the pin, you can select all file and the windows remain. So let's select the original cabinet, that is this one. Okay, let's come back to the editor. So since one is the amp with the cabinet channel B, that means that I am using the 4x12 AXGB 313. This is the name of the microphone. You can also add a secondary cabinet and you can use in stereo mode, for example. I have the scene number 2 where I switch off the drive and the delay. And let's see what's happened in the scene number 3 where I select a different amp, the 5F8 Tweed. It is the Fender Tweed 5F8 circuit. Okay, quite common amp. But I also changed the cabinet. As you can see, I selected channel A, where I select 2 different cabinets that is perfect for this amp. The 2x12 59 Tweed double with this microphone, and this one, as you can see, is combined together. This is really nice, interesting, because you can change scene number 2 with the Marshall plexi with the matched cabinet for the plexi, and also you can select the scene number 3 with the proper the amp that you want, but with the proper cabinet that matched with that amp. This feature is really powerful. Thanks, Marco. Okay, does channel switching affect the sound? The question from Daniel. Absolutely, depends of you, because if you let the amp as it is, no. But for example, from scene number 3 and let's check the amp. on the amp block, I have the channel A on the SYN3. If I switch on the channel 4, the amp is the same, doesn't change. But what's happened? I only switch on the delay. Depends on you what you want to change in the scenes. You can change anything. You can change the on-off of any block, and also you can change the channel of any block. So let's check what's happened when I change from the scene number 1, 2, 3. Okay, I switch off the microphone, otherwise there's a feedback. Okay, Daniel, I saw your answer and I demonstrate you immediately what is the effect. You ask me about the seamless of this different scenes. As you can see, you can change even the amp and the cabinet, and practically there is no audio interruption. So the switching is very, very fast. Okay. Okay. Let's check now how it's possible to assign the scenes to the foot switch. Okay, from the editor, you go to the FC controller. From the FC controller, you can select the FM3 layout, and you have here for the 3 switch. Let's start from a blank layout like this one. Let me check. Yes, I can delete that layout. Let's start from 0. Okay. So, okay, I wanted to explain you the powerful of the editor and the powerful of the foot switch. So, as you can see, the editor shows not only 3 switch, but shows 12 switch. Why? Because in any case, the layout the entire layout is composed by 12 switch, not only 3. And you can navigate between the keyboard. The keyboard has the views. So this is the view number 1, and you can see here the view addressing. If I click on 2, as you can see, I can see the second 3 foot switch. If I click on view 3, I can see the foot switch number 7, 8, 9, and 4. So you have many possibilities because you have up to 8 plus 1, let's say the total are 9 layout, where you can decide how to create your layout. And inside the layout, you can navigate through the 12 switches. I don't know if I'm clear, but I will explain you better. So let's start. Let's start from to program the first 3 switches. Okay. On my FM3 now I can see anything because the foot switch is not programmed. So I point the first one, and I have 2 possibilities to assign the tap functionality and all the functionality. Any switches has 2 status, 2 possibilities. One is the tap, so you press the switch one time, but you can also have a secondary function to press and hold the foot switch. So you have double functionality. Let's configure the tap. So you can select the category, and from the category you can select the bank to select the bank, the preset to select the preset, scene, effect, utility, layout, control switch, looper, and so on. You have many possibilities. If I want to, for example, to change the scene of my preset, so I select the scene. Okay, as you can see, the default color is red, but I can change, for example, white. I show you also the image of the editor. Okay, if I change the color, you can see the first switch of I zoom. Make a zoom of FM3. Not okay. Eccolo. Okay. You see the red LED or green, for example, or blue. What I want. Let's stay on the white one. So let's come back to the editor. Okay, so this is a very simple way to say to foot switch 1 to select the scene number 1. I do the same to the foot switch number 2. Okay. Scene, select number 2. And also you can see also that on the label there is appears the name of the scene directly. And I can also copy and paste for the third one. Okay, so now when I press the crunch, I would like to show you. Let me check if I wanted to. Okay, now, okay. You can see also the foot switch. Okay. I switch off the microphone. Okay, this is really easy and clear. Let me check your question. What plastic knob do you have on the FM3 foot switch? They look just the right size. It is made by my friend. If you want information regarding this, contact me. Okay, Thomas, and they are transparent, which is nice. Yes, they are transparent. Aquacum, great, thanks. I'm right guessing at the FM3. You can upload one press at a time. Well, with the Fractal Bot, you can upload of them at. Let me check. I'm right guessing that in FM3 edit you can upload one preset at a time, while with the Fractal Bot you can upload all of them at once. Yes, of course. New preset load solve CPU issue. Thank you very much. Yes, exactly. So let's come back to to the foot switch configuration. That is a very important part to understand. As I told you, I can see only 3 switches, but I can also use these other 3 switches with the view number 2. Okay, and here I can select, for example, I use the past functionality to select, for example, scene number 4, scene number 5, for example. Okay, and I want to configure the last one to the tap tempo, for example. So I go to the utility. The utility have 2 possibilities to select the tap tempo, the tuner. I select the tap tempo, I change the color. And also I want to make all the functionality to select the tuner. What is it? Utility, tuner. So let's come back to the view of the FC. As you can see, the tap tempo is blinking because I selected the view number 2. If I click on view number 2, as you can see, I can select the first 3 foot switch, the view number 1, I select 2, and you can see the tap tempo blinking. Okay, so, but how is possible to navigate online? Because with the editor easy, but with online. So you can, for example, use the press and hold functionality on the 3rd foot switch to change the view. So you have the view category, select, for example, view number 2. Okay? What's happened if I press and hold the 3rd foot switch? As you can see, even the software, the system scroll to the right to the view number 2. To come back, I can program the first one like a cursor. It's very simple. To come back to the view number 1. So if I press and hold the foot switch number 1, and so I can navigate between 2 views. And I also can do the same to go to the view number 3 and view number 4. Not only, but if I on the middle foot switch, I say to select the layout, for example, the layout number 9, I can navigate to the master layout that can permit to select all layout. So if I press and hold as you can see, I can select layout number 1, 2, 3, and more. So I can select 8 different layouts. That means 8 different configurations of 12 switches. So you can understand how many combinations that you can select. Of course, during the live you cannot dance the tip tap to select this, but you have to understand how is the convenient method to set up your foot switches. Typically, for example, I like to have the scenes, okay, 3 scenes, for example, and a view where I have the tap tempo and the tuner. So I can use the first foot switch to go to the view number 3, for example, view number 3, where I select, okay, so number 3, when I want to, like, for example, to bypass, to switch on and off the drive. So I go to the category effect, function bypass. the red one color. I want to select, for example, effects like a delay number 1. Okay. But I can also do something very, for example, I can use the toggle functionality, where I can, for example, with the scenes function toggle, and I can alternate with the scenes number 1 and number 2, for example, with a single button. So I have many different options. I click, I use the first one to come back to the view number 1. So if I click on, press and hold on the drive, I come back to the view number 1. If I press again the view number 2, the first full switch, I come back to the, I go to the view number 3 where I have the effects. So if I press 1, I do one action. If I press and hold, I do the secondary, the hold functions. It's not it's easy to understand. It's okay. You have to understand the philosophy behind this, but this let you to use the 3 switches in a very, very smart way. Let me check your questions. Yes, Fractal Bot is no, you can drag and drop multiple presets and cabinet in the preset manager. Yes, section exactly. There is also, okay, I didn't show you, but if you go to the, I don't want to explain all functionality of the FM editor, but if you go to the tool, you have a possibility to manage presets and cabinets. For example, if you go to the presets, okay, you can handle all preset, for example, here, and shift, save, export. You can do anything you want. You can download directly. Thank you, Diego, for your help. Qua scatta un applauso ai programmatori. Thank you, Fabio. So let's go to the live section, and I show you what is the effects of this the programming of this layout. So I switch off the microphone. Okay, so I show you how many different possibilities you can do with only 3 foot switch. You can select different scenes, you can select drives, you can switch the tuner, switch on the tuner, use the tap tempo, change the scenes, alternate scenes, and so on. So again, the limits with Fractal is only your fantasy. This is my leitmotif. Okay, so let me check if there are some questions. Assuming it's possible, how does one share preset and block or blocks from the XFX on to the okay? Any presets is from the FM3 you can export to XFX3 without any problem, and you can also do the vice versa if only if you can use the limit, because I show you the Edit 3, the matrix is much more larger and you have many possibilities. Usually you can, I show you what is happen if I upload in an empty slot a preset, import preset, for example, XFX3, for example, this one is an import, is a preset from XFX3. In any case, you can do. And you save also the parameter configuration. Of course, the system cut, for example, if you use the double amp, you have only one, double cabinet, you have only but you have the possible to rebuild the patch. So of course, because there is some limitation on the matrix, you find the reverb here and the output here, but it's quite easy. You drag and drop the delay, chorus, reverb, output, delete the shunt here, create the link in parallel, and that's it. Immediately you can recover the preset from XFX3 in the FM3, and you can do also vice versa. If you remember that the matrix of FM3 is made 16 by 4, 16, not solely 4, 8, 12 by 4. Okay, you can build a preset that are, let's say, fully compatible with FM3. You have to take care about the block, because the block are different. You have, for example, 4 delay block. For example, if you use the delay 3, you have not a delay 3 in the FM3, for example. You have only 1 and 2. But more or less, if you remember the rules, you can do vice versa. Typically, for example, I create my preset on FM3 and I export to XFX3, and I can add, of course, all the other effects, because, of course, XFX3 is much more powerful. Okay, Mark, which function can be assigned to an external double foot switch? Thanks, and cheers. Any functionality. The external foot switch you can set as you want, exactly as the foot switch. With the press, the tap, and all the functionality. And you have also much more possibility with the per preset. So you can also have a config, because the foot switch controller is the general configuration, is a global configuration that is valid for any preset. But you can also use the per preset function, and you can assign your configuration for any switch as you want, referred to the preset. So you can save the preset and also the configuration, because you, for example, for switch number 1, you can have in one preset you have the drive, in another preset you can have the scene number 1, in another preset you have a delay, and so on. And so you can configure your foot switch in a free mode with a per preset functionality. Okay. Okay. There are 1,000 other things that we can say, but if you have any question, I'm available. Let me drink some water because my again, save your preset. If you want to save your preset, I suggest you to export preset where you want. Okay. The format of the file is a SYX. Okay, there are other functionality, but are specific functionality. This is the startup, so I don't want to put on the table too much information. I hope to give you all important information. So remember, the important thing is to start from the G66 website. That this is the starting point where you can find anything. I remember you support, okay, and here you can find any files, firmware, and so on. If you need to support, you go to the contact list. So let's switch to English. Okay, to the contact, you can find your reference for your country. Diego for Italy, Nicolas from France, Alain from UK, Raoul from Spain, Susie from Denmark, Jacques from Switzerland, Jochen from Germany, and also Marcus from Germany. And you have the email to ask support of technical support, technical issues, and in case Susie is available for any logistics. And of course, I am available to answer to your questions. For the Italian people, is available also the Fractal School. Don't forget, Fractal School, it is a Facebook group. I'll show you. It's a Facebook group where I explain there are 12 videos, 12 lessons, okay, divided by Argu, where it explains the single block, how to create a rig, how to create to program the system, and a very good explanation about the effects, the explanation about the impulse responses, the compressor, and so on. At the moment, this is only in Italian, but maybe I will do in English. But to make this training in English is not easy, and also you can find a lot of information in English from, for example, Leon Todd, also in Germany. Don't forget to go to the G66 channel from the experience, the community here. For example, on the G66 YouTube channel, for example, there are a lot of tutorials in Germany. Okay, there's also my tutorial. Don't forget to check this, and you can find some information. There are some also tutorial in France, in English from Cooper Carter, for example. There should be also the tutorial from Nicolas in French, if I remember well. Okay. If you have no other questions, I thank you for the attention, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to subscribe to the G66 YouTube channel. If you have any question, contact me. There's no problem. By my website, marcofontondo.it. And also, you have further questions. You can put the question below the video, and I will answer you later on. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. Good night, and thank you very much. Nothing else. Bye.